everyone, it's April 2nd and welcome to episode 2 of Learn To Yoyo. If you haven't already seen episode 1, make sure to go check that out on my YouTube channel. I have a link down below in the description of this video, so you can go watch that if you haven't already. But if you have already seen episode 1, you know you're in the right place. And now that we've talked about why yo-yoing is such a great hobby, and we've looked into how to choose the right yo-yo for us, we're ready to get started with the basics. So in this video, we're going to be looking into how to change the string, how to wind the yo-yo, throwing the yo-yo, as well as something we call string tension. And you may be wondering, why do you need to change the strings? Well, the more you practice, the more the string gets worn out. And once the string gets a little too worn out, it becomes harder to learn new tricks. As well as that, you just want to make sure to change the strings often just to keep it fresh and clean. So when taking the string off, the first step is always to unscrew the yo-yo. And we just want to be aware of the different parts that are inside the yo-yo, so that way when it's taken apart, we don't lose anything. And if you look at the string, you'll notice that it's made up of 2 strands that are twisted together. So all you're going to do is untwist the string and slide it right off. From that point, you're going to screw the yo-yo back together, and then you're ready to put your new string on. When you have your new string ready to go, you want to grab it from both ends, and you'll notice one side has a knot with a loop, and the other side is just straight. It's really common to think that the side with the loop is what goes around the yo-yo, but it's actually going to be the other side. So we're going to drop the side with the loop, and in the same way that we took the string off the yo-yo, we're just going to untwist it and open it up. It helps if you put your pointer finger in the loop so it keeps it open, and then as you continue to untwist it, slide your thumb right into it, so that way it'll stay open. From there, slide the string over the yo-yo and then just let it twist back together on its own. After that, we have to measure the string to make sure it's the right length for us. So what we're going to do is let the yo-yo dangle all the way to the ground. Then we're just going to measure the string all the way up to our elbow. So if our arm's straight and we bend it just at the elbow, we're going to measure the string all the way up to here and pinch the string. And from there, what we're going to do is fold the string over, and now we're going to tie the knot. So all we're going to do here is wrap the string around the back, creating a loop, and then you're going to put the top of the string through the loop and pull it tight. From there, we're going to be left with a little bit of excess string that we just can cut off. Once we have the string measured to the perfect length for us, with the yo-yo on the ground and the loop measured up to our elbow, we're ready to wind the yo-yo. First, we have to figure out which hand is our throw hand. I'm right-handed, so my right hand is going to be my throw hand, and I'm actually going to wind the string with my throw hand. So with my opposite hand, my left hand in my case, I'm going to grab the outside of the yo-yo and pinch the string just a few inches under the yo-yo. Then you're going to start to wind the string around the yo-yo, and you'll notice it'll start to grab on the inside. Just keep winding from that point until it's all the way to the end. If you're having some trouble with that and the wind is looking more like this, that just means you're pulling the string too tight. That's not going to allow the string to catch on the inside. So what you want to do is just loosen that up a little bit, put your hand a little closer to the yo-yo and lightly wind it around, and you'll notice that it'll grab every time. Once the yo-yo is fully wound, we're almost ready for our first throw. We just have to make what's called a slipknot. We're just going to take this loop, put the string right through the loop and pull it through. Then we'll end up with a little bit bigger loop, and that's the slipknot. Then we're just going to put that over our middle finger, and I like to put it in between the first and second knuckle. After that, we're ready for our first throw. There's a few different steps to having a perfect throw, and the first is always to make sure the yo-yo's in your hand correctly. As you can see, the yo-yo's in my palm, and my palm's facing the sky, and the string is coming from my middle finger over the top of the yo-yo. And the reason I want the string going over the top of the yo-yo is because when I go to throw it, it's going to roll off nice and easily like that. If the yo-yo's flipped around when it's in my palm, and the string's going under the yo-yo from my middle finger, when I go to throw the yo-yo, it's going to get stuck like that, and you'll feel what that's like if it's on your hand wrong. So once you have the string going over the top, the yo-yo's set up in your hand correctly, you're ready for the next step. All you're going to do is hold the yo-yo up high by your ear and kind of make a muscle. You want to make sure you're nice and relaxed here though. From that point, all you're going to do is what I like to call the backwards high five. So it's just like a high five, but backwards. And we're going to throw the yo-yo straight down with a backwards high five. So pretend you're giving someone a high five. I like to put my hand out like this and practice that motion a few times. The reason it's a backwards high five is because we want to keep the yo-yo straight in our hand. If we go to give the backwards high five and then switch to a normal high five, then the yo-yo is actually going to come out of our hand sideways and it's not going to spin well. And when we go to throw, we want to make sure the yo-yo is straight in our hand. We want to watch it come out of our hand to ensure it doesn't go sideways. And it should look just like this. Once the yo-yo is spinning there, you want to let it go under control and let it stay still. Then you're just going to flip your hand over and give it a little bit of a tug. Now I've been doing this for a lot of years and I've had a lot of practice, so the sleeper never looks perfect on the first try. You may find that even if you're watching it come out of your hand, it might come out a little bit sideways and it might spin a little bit like this. And that's okay if that happens. Remember, we know how to wind the yo-yo. So just get it fully wound again. Get that slip knot back on our finger. And then just try it again. And it'll take a little bit of practice. Another thing that might happen is you might have a perfectly straight throw, but there might not be quite enough power. So when you go to flip it over and pull it up, it might not come back all the way. And if that happens, all you have to do is just give the throw a little bit more power. So let's try that again. As you can see, what happens sometimes if you give the throw a little bit more power is the yo-yo will pop right back up. The way we can avoid that, we still want to give the throw a lot of power, but what we're going to do is right when the yo-yo is hitting the bottom of the string, we're going to let our hand drop down a little bit so it's a little bit of a softer landing. So the way that's going to look is just like this. And as you can see, I dropped my hand a little bit, I gave the throw a lot of power, and now it's spinning super well. So all we're going to do from that point, flip our hand over, tug it back up, and catch. So a good challenge for you guys is to see how long of a sleeper you can get. I want to challenge you to get a 3-second spin. So let's try that out really quick. 1, 2, 3. Flip that hand over, pull it up and catch. And again, it's okay if it doesn't work the first time. It's going to take a bit of practice. So just keep trying. If you need to pause the video, that's okay. But once you can get a 3-second sleeper, then I want to challenge you to get a 5-second sleeper. So let's try that out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pull it up and catch. And as you can see, I threw the yo-yo quite a bit harder that time. So if you're having trouble getting the yo-yo to spin that long, just remember the key is to throw it harder. After that, 10-second sleeper, then maybe even 15 seconds. I just want you to challenge yourself and keep practicing, see how long you can get the sleeper going. When you're practicing the sleeper, you may find that you run into something called spaghetti string. And the reason the string twists up like this and looks like spaghetti is because when we're practicing and we go to throw the yo-yo, if the yo-yo spins out like this, you can see that the yo-yo keeps spinning around and it's actually tightening the string the whole time it's doing that. So you can see that twists up the string, and that makes it really hard to keep practicing, and it also affects how well your yo-yo will spin. So the way we get rid of that twisty stuff is to take the slip knot off of our finger and just let the yo-yo string dangle down. And you can see it'll untwist itself at first, and then what we're going to do is we're going to pinch the string right below the yo-yo and slide it down. You can see it untwist just a little bit more. Do that 2 to 3 times. And then you notice the string is back to normal, and that is how we know we have fixed our string tension. So we're going to wind our yo-yo up, make that slip knot again. Remember, put the string through the loop, pull it through, tighten it up, and we're ready to keep practicing. With that being said, guys, I know we've gone over a lot of different things in this video, so to help you out while you're practicing, I've included time marks in the description of this video. So while you're practicing all these different things, you can go down into the description and click on the time mark and it'll jump right back to whatever it is that you're practicing. And that's going to wrap up episode 2 of Learn to Yo-Yo. If you guys would like to get some more information on the yo-yo I've been using in this video, along with the Yo-Yo Master Pack, you can head over to my website, gentrystein.com. I want to thank you guys for learning today, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow in episode 3, where we'll be learning the forward pass.